having built the company you have over the last 8 years, if you were to start today, what are some things you do different? What advice would you give to a new entrepreneur, someone starting their own construction firm, things that you would look at doing right away from the very beginning?
Yeah, so probably one of those things would be to hire slow, right? But it's always tricky, right? Because you have to start somewhere. And I think to some extent, you're going to make mistakes, and that's a good thing as long as you learn from them. So if there's anything I would change, I would definitely make sure that I understand the numbers more. This is more mechanic side, right? But just understanding the numbers and how they work, and corporate taxes and payroll, like just understanding what's required for wherever you live, because cash flow is king, right? It's yes, you need to make a profit, but you need to make sure that you can keep cash flowing, and that because you might have to put out a lot of money for a project, for example, right? So understanding your numbers would be important, but bringing the right people on is extremely important, right? So I had the wrong people at the beginning. I did have, like when I started off, I had some friends help me, and I knew that they were short term, but that was fine. But then I ended up it was just me interviewing and hiring people. Oh yeah, I knew that person, let's hire him. But then they were, there was a rotten apple in the bag, and it was starting to get all the other apples, right? And as easy, you hear it all the time, right? But the hire slow, fire quick. It's a lot easier said than done. But if you don't do it, it's painful to try to get rid of somebody. Like
it's so hard.
And I think it's almost a lesson that everyone has to go through in order to actually believe it and start implementing it, right? Because they think, oh no, it'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. But I almost think like anybody who's starting, you just have to get out there and start doing it, right? Don't overthink everything. You're not going to have all the same systems and processes that we have after 10 years. You're not going to have the same support. You don't have the experience, right, at the end of the day. And I think the most important thing to do is to just go out and get experience, and to not be afraid to ask for advice, right? From people who have been doing it longer. Like I have a part of Greater Ottawa Home Builders Association here. For the most part, I'm usually the youngest guy sitting around the table, and all these guys have been doing it way longer than I have. And I'm sure, and I've learned a lot from them. But they're asking me for advice on certain things too, right? Because we're doing things differently than what they've done them, right? But it's great because when you surround yourself with other people, especially in the same industry, there's more than enough work for everybody, right? The competition isn't the other contractors that are doing really good work. The competition is the guys that are underbidding us and not doing things properly, and ultimately creating a bad reputation for the industry as a whole, right? So that's what we want to get rid of. I'm not afraid of the other guys that are doing even the same work that we're doing. That's great because we can't do it all, right? We need more people doing it. So don't be afraid of sharing, right? And we share everything. Like it's all over our YouTube.